If you have the tendency to crack under pressure, if you are overwhelmed easily, and or if you do not know how to manage yourself when you are too overwhelmed, I am here to provide you with 5 tips that are going to alleviate you of this problem. 2025 is your year to get done. Excuse my French. Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If you are new here, hello, my name is Bri. I am your Gen Zennial bestie, your virtual sis working to successfully navigate her 20s in an attempt to thrive in her 30s. And what that looks like for me is just becoming the kind of person that I am currently inspired by. So self-improvement, health and wellness, lifestyle, all of the things. If that is something that you want to align yourself with, please do yourself a favor and like, comment, and subscribe. I promise you're going to enjoy everything about this journey and this channel. And for those who are reoccurring, y'all already know the vibes. So actually, I had quite the crazy weekend. Actually, last 2 weeks. For those who are reoccurring, y'all know I have been working tirelessly to make sure that I have a bombshell birthday, and that I did. I was trying to give you guys a little glimpse of that in our next video, but because of how hard I went for the last 2 weeks, because don't ask me why I celebrated my birthday for 2 weeks, but I celebrated my birthday for not 1, but 2 weekends. My birthday and then Labor Day. It was just, bow. It was crazy. But with all that being said, I have been feeling very, very overwhelmed. I came back with this heavy weight of pressure on me, feeling like, how on earth am I going to get back into the swing of things? I need to reset. I need to rejuvenate. I need time to recover. However, I don't have time to recover. It's September. It's a new month. The great lock-in. Everyone's talking about it. I need to get on my Zoom. I need to get on my Zoom. I need to get on my Zoom. But I haven't even had time to recharge. And it's caused me to feel extremely overwhelmed. So I'm actually going to share a video that I went ahead and decided to watch on my own behalf. A video from my previous channel that was spot on. It was exactly what I needed to hear. It's about how to better carry yourself when you are feeling overwhelmed. So if you're the type of person that feels like they have so much on their plate that they just end up cracking under the pressure, or you don't know where to start and you don't know how to start, so you never start, trust me, I have been there. I currently am there. And when I felt that way, I went back to this old video to go watch it, and it helped me a lot. So that's what I'm going to share with you guys in today's video, while I take the time to reset, rejuvenate, and I come back, bouncing back better than ever for the great lock-in that September will be, and you guys will have a front row seat, of course. Do not get it twisted. But if you are looking forward to locking in, but life is lifing for you and you're extremely overwhelmed, I got you covered. You've come to the right place, I promise. So yeah, there are going to probably be a few things that are a bit different because I did film this at the top of 2025. So I'm in a different apartment, and I might make a few references as to like things I'm doing, shows I'm watching, things of that nature, that are a tad bit dated. So don't fret if you get confused. That is why. But it's something that you can probably benefit from no matter when you watch it. Even if you're not feeling an insane amount of overwhelmingness right now, that time tends to come, especially as we near the fall, we near the holidays. Y'all know how it get. Trying to please everybody and their grandma, literally working so hard so that you could finally enjoy your vacation, being hard on yourself. You're trying to stick to your goals despite the holidays. Trust me, it gets sticky. So why don't you get ahead of that feeling by continuing to watch this video. 5 very helpful and beneficial and practical tips so that you do not crack under the pressure that is to be overwhelmed anymore. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Enjoy. Some people do their best work when under pressure, but others do not. A lot of people have the tendency to crack under pressure. In fact, being overwhelmed can feel a lot like tons of pressure weighing on you, so much so that you either rise to the occasion or you crack. And if you are someone on the latter half that tends to crack.
Say crack again.
Crack. I'm kidding. If you have the tendency to crack under pressure, if you are overwhelmed easily, and or if you do not know how to manage yourself when you are too overwhelmed, I am here to provide you with 5 tips that are going to alleviate you of this problem. I would like to say that I've deemed myself the productivity princess, maybe just the productive princess. I think that getting things done has become something I've gotten really, really good at. However, I have struggled from anxiety. And if you've been watching my channel previously, then you've seen me touch on anxiety. And what makes up anxiety is fear, stress, overthinking, and one of those things is also to be overwhelmed. When you're easily overwhelmed, it's likely a side effect of anxiety. And when you get too overwhelmed, you don't know how to function, it's because of anxiety. And I truthfully believe that we cannot grow and glow into the people that we are destined to be, rise to the occasion and become our highest selves if we are so easily thrown off course because we're easily overwhelmed. We can't function in that environment. And the fact of the matter is that life is gonna happen, things are gonna happen, and we need to learn how to step it up, muster through these situations, and get things done regardless. 2025 is your year to get done. Excuse my French, but we're getting things done this year. And there's gonna be times where it feels like you have to get a lot done at once. And does that mean we're gonna crack and we're gonna crawl under the bed and not do anything? No, because to be irresponsible is to be childish. And we have big things to get done this year, okay? So let's get to it. Now, this topic has become more important to me as of late because I have a lot going on. Granted, no matter if you have things going on personally or not, we all encounter these times. And how you maneuver when you encounter these times is extremely crucial, especially if you're on a journey to become your very best self. So previously, I have been someone that identified with anxiety. I'm not claiming that anymore in the name of Jesus. And if you are someone who is also not claiming anxiety anymore, I need you to drop this emoji in the comments because that is something that I think that we all need to leave in 2024. And in order to become the best version of ourselves and honestly grow into someone that is mature and responsible and that gets things done, we have to be able to maneuver throughout these times. And a large part of that is being easily overwhelmed. So when I came up with the idea to do this video, it was because I had several different things going on at once. Transparency and life update. I am moving at the end of the week. It is currently Sunday. I'm getting my keys on Thursday. Transparently, this is my first move without the help of my parents. Not that they don't want to help me, but the first time I was moving all the way from Pennsylvania to Atlanta, and it was my first apartment, so they helped me. And they came all the way down here with me. And the second time, it was from the middle of Austell, Georgia to Buckhead, and it was kind of an emotional move as my ex was leaving, so they flew out here to help me move. I made it very clear to them that they did not have to do that this time. I appreciate them and I love them so much. If they are watching, I love y'all. But I'm a big girl and I got this, right? Right? I got this, right? Immediately as the days started to get closer, I started to fumble. I started to like crash a little bit. How am I gonna make this happen? Not only that, but my boyfriend's birthday was last weekend. So I'm trying to stretch myself financially, even though, you know, he's very understanding. I still wanted to show up for him in a way that I wanted to because I'm just a giving person. I wanted to be able to do things for him last weekend. I had this move coming up and it's costly. On top of all of that, I had an issue with my insurance. For renter's insurance, you have to have proof of insurance to move into the new apartment. The renter's insurance is bundled with the car insurance. So now I'm trying to find new car insurance and rental insurance in less than 7 days. I'm losing my mind. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. Financially, the move, the insurance, it was a lot happening at once and I was like literally about to shut down. And I checked myself and pulled out a pen and paper and said, okay, we need to handle this efficiently. And I know that I can't be the only one who has dealt with these problems. So the first thing that I did and what I would instruct for you guys to do if you are feeling this way is to, number one, breathe. Ask yourself, what is it specifically that is overwhelming me? And then breathe again in that order. Why? Because when we are struggling with a lot coming down on us at once, we have the tendency to sometimes amplify what those things are. Not to say that what you're dealing with and what's stressing you out is something that isn't that deep, because sometimes it is, but other times, like when we're in the thick of it, we could be a little bit dramatic. And it's like, okay, breathe. One, what is it specifically that is stressing me out? What's overwhelming me? Put them on paper or just say them out loud. Say them to yourself. Don't list. I think when we get so stressed out, sometimes we have the tendency to list everything. Like we're complaining and we're like, I got to do this and I got to do that. I got this coming up. I don't know how I'm finna make this happen. And when you do it that way, you dramatize the problem, break it down. What is it specifically? Because sometimes we can become so dramatic that we don't even realize that there are tangible things we can do to knock those things out. But it's just when they're all happening at once, they can become inflated. So let's alleviate that problem. So for me, for example, it was the insurance, which was the cherry on top. And sometimes it feels like when you have a lot going on, I think it's the devil personally, that just be throwing a little extra. Like say you have, I don't know, you're having a really, really tight week financially. You're like, bro, this random bill came out of nowhere. I don't know how I'm finna pay for it. It's due this day. I forgot I had this coming up, and then it'd be like, boom, check engine light comes on. Bow, you need an oil change or your car's about to break down. Bow, your tire bust. I'm not prophesizing this over anybody's life, and let me knock on wood and say a quick prayer. Lord, please Jesus, don't do it. However, I do need an oil change amongst all of these things. Yeah, I do. I have a dentist appointment on Tuesday. I hope it's free, but I don't know. It's like things, I think, start to pile on when you start to tremble under the pressure. So you want to do your best to not freak the F out and lose your ish during this time, because I think that, like, I don't know, the universe and the devil be listening like, oh, she a little bit uneasy. Let me go on. And I really think that's a thing. So we cannot fumble under that pressure. Let's break it down specifically. What is it, so that we can move on to number 2 and make a plan. As you've gathered already, the second thing that you're going to do is to create a plan. Now, when you do this, your plan should be practical. It should be feasible. It should be achievable. What can you physically do to make these things go away? And what else that making a plan will do is to check yourself and say, okay, if I cannot control it, I cannot control it. So if you can't physically, feasibly do anything about these problems, then you have to give it to God, right? Okay, boom. So for the things that you can physically do something about, let's come up with a plan on how to do it. That check engine light came on. Irking. You have rent due at the end of the week. Irking. And you got something else going on that's not financial, but it's just another thing that you have to do. What's the plan? Because we can make these things shake, but we might just have to move and shake until then. I'm not going to drive my car until I get this check so that I can handle that business. So in the meantime, I'm going to ask my sis, can I use her car? I'm going to take the train, or I'm going to Uber, just because it's going to be cheaper for me to do that, handle that, than it is for me to both pay my rent and to take my car to the shop. That's a plan. Physical movements you can make. Text your friend, hey, yo, can I use your car this day? Da, 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 da. You work from home, stay your ass in the house. You can do it. You can make it shake. It's not ideal, but you can make it shake. So for me, the move was stressing me out. What did I do? I took a pen to paper. This is another thing that I suggest. Write down this plan. I don't care if it's on a notes app in your phone, if you have a task manager, if you use some sort of like Asana, Notion page, something where you could physically like check it off after it's done. I personally like to write pen to paper, and I wrote down what I want to do when. When it comes to moving, it could seem like, oh yeah, you know, it's just a 1-bedroom apartment. Like you just throw it in the box, throw it in the bag, take it out, boom. Like I do not underestimate how many things I have. I know I have a lot, and I know that I am very resilient, and I have a way of packing and living. As it looks like I don't have a lot, but I have a lot. I have a lot of things. And I don't even have my curtains up anymore. Like there is so many things packed up in that living room. It looks a hot mess. I'm trying to like cover it, but I have a lot of things, and I still have a lot that I didn't even touch yet. That's like behind the camera. It's kind of crazy. But I took a pen to paper and said, okay, the first thing I'm going to do is pack up everything that I am not using. That might be the summer clothes, the clothes where I'm like going outside because I haven't been going outside. It's freezing and I got a lot going on. The books on the bookshelf, the things underneath my desk. I literally made a whole list of what I want to pack and when. This was helpful for me to, one, know where to start. When you don't know where to start, you have the tendency to just not want to do anything. You look at a whole bunch of stuff. Another good example is when you're in school and you have exams of some sort, and around that time of year, I don't know what it is, midterms, finals, where everybody has an exam for you at the same time. You might be looking at this huge stack of vocabulary cards, or this huge stack of things you need to memorize, this thick behind book you gotta read. How am I about to retain this information, memorize those formulas, and also know the definitions of all those words? I'm gonna do nothing. I'm going to do nothing. No, don't do that. Make a plan. I was really good at this, y'all. I'm like, in terms of moving, I'm still learning. When it comes to school, that was my thing. Okay, graduated cum laude, like a 3.8. College, high school 4.0. Like, don't play with it. I was really one of them ones. And I never had any type of crazy gifted like mental capacity. I'm not like super smart. I think I'm smart, but I also am the best studier, and I'm very good at being productive. I would break my things down, make a plan. Monday and Tuesday, I'm doing all this class. Wednesday, Thursday, I'm doing all this class. And then I would have like hours broken down, what I'm going to do. If I have 10 chapters to read, this week I'm reading 5 of them, the other week I'm reading the other 5. Like, I divide it into the amount of time that I have split up. And another good point for this task for number 2 is to organize what you have to do in a chronological order. So if there are things that are due first, handle them first. Like, no matter what, your rent is going to be doing it first. So you might have other financial things that are going on, but there's something you have to handle before the rest. If you conglomerate everything into one and be like, oh, I'm weighing up under it, I don't know how to achieve it, I don't know how to get through this tough time because there's so many things happening at once. Okay, what's due first? Let's knock that out. And it's sometimes so frustrating when people talk to you that way, because you could be so emotionally overwhelmed as well. Not just with all of the things you have to do, but your emotions are now tied into it. Why does it seem like there's always something happening? Why does it seem like I just can't get my head above water? I'm struggling every single time. It's frustrating, it's irritating, and all of those feelings, one, are lack of faith, and they have the tendency to weigh you down with all of the issues that you have. So the best way to get things done is to take your emotions out of it and to actually try to create a plan that is feasible, that is functional. What is due first? This. Okay, we're gonna handle this first. The next couple things that are due around the same time. Okay, let's make a plan. I'm gonna work on this from this day to this day, from this hour to this hour. Break it down by time, day, week. You really want to be efficient with this plan. It's the only way that you will actually get things done in a way that makes sense and that is practical. Number 3, now when you have your plan, you know what you need to do in order to make these things shake. You have to now alleviate your distractions. This could be something as grand as like a physical person who just constantly is in your way and wants to throw you off your course. Like, you might just have to cut that person off, or maybe block them for the week so you can handle what you need to handle. It could be something as minute as a hangnail. Like, for me, it was my weave. As you can see, I had to take it out. It was itching me. It had been like 3 to 4 weeks. So I knew that I was gonna take it out shortly, but me having the weave itself, like, I kept sweating out my leave out. Every time I looked in the mirror, I'm trying to fix it. I'm like messing with it, and it became very distracting. And I was like, okay, I know I have all these things to do, and I'm gonna dedicate the weekend to doing them. However, on Friday, once I clock out of work, I'm clipping these tracks out. Like, I had to do it so that my hair wasn't going to be something distracting me as I needed to be packing and as I needed to be coming up with all of the different things I need to do in order to handle this business and get things done. Another good example is what to eat. I know people don't even really think of that as a huge distraction, but trying to figure out what you're going to eat is a distraction. Like, I know you see those funny videos of guys making fun of their girlfriends for not being able to decide what to eat. That's a real thing. So this is a time where I would highly suggest meal prepping, or just making the decision in advance so that you don't have to think about it. You could still do your takeout vibe. You can still do whatever it is you do, but make that decision before we get into the thick of our plans. So if you got a hangnail, chip it, cut it, clip it. If you need to, I don't know, do your laundry. Like, if you're like, okay, I have to make sure I get X, Y, and Z done. However, I'm stepping over dirty clothes. I'm messing with the dust on the table, like, while I'm trying to study. No, just handle the business, handle that. Get anything that will distract you up out the way. This is also another great time to put your phone on D&D, okay? Because especially when it comes to school and anything that requires your attention, you got to sit down and read something, whatever it is. Being productive and having your phone constantly buzzing is just not, they don't mesh well together. Put your phone on do not disturb for the amount of time that you need to get things done. You want the execution of your plan to be as easy as possible. So if there are any things, any people, any devices that are going to get in your way while you are executing this plan, you need to remove them swiftly swiftly. The fifth thing that you need to do in order to not be overwhelmed by being overwhelmed is to find time to decompress. I mean this wholeheartedly. Finding time to decompress can be very difficult to do when you are overwhelmed and when you have a lot to do, regardless of if you're feeling overwhelmed or not. I used to have the tendency to, like I said, be uber productive, which was amazing, but sometimes I would be like, I can't, I have to do XYZ. And my mom would be like, dinner's done. All right. Like I would get so into it that everything else would just go out the window, and it's not a healthy way to get things done. Another thing that I think is important where finding time to decompress is concerned is that when you plan your breaks, they are more controlled. They are functionable breaks. When you do not plan a break, you will work your behind off until you crash, until you flatline, until you're like, okay, I'm about to go be big back because I haven't eaten in 12 hours. That's not feasible. And when you go and do that, now you're going to be in a food coma. And then when you get in that food coma, now you're going to oversleep. You're going to miss that alarm. And when you miss that alarm, now you're going to be running late. Do you see the problem? Take a break. Decompress. Last but not least, ask yourself, what counters my stress, and then find time to do it. So like for me, it's this. Okay, I have a lot going on, and a part of me is like, should I not film? Like, should I not? If I don't film, I'm gonna be mad at myself. Like if a week go by and I don't post, I'm gonna be irritated because now I'm cycling on my goals and da da da. Let me just put that into my schedule, and I did. And once this is over, I'm gonna go back to packing. You know, no harm, no foul. You're making things shake. So it could be as simple as taking a hot bath. It could be taking a walk, going to the gym. Like, yeah, you have a lot of things to do, but going to the gym is what decompresses you. It's what centers you. It's your zen. Make sure you find time to do that. I also would highly suggest doing things that require no thought, because when you're overwhelmed, like I said, it's like a side effect of anxiety, and there's so many moving parts and there's so many things happening and your brain's going a mile a minute. Sometimes you'll be in the bed and you'll be like,
I'm not tired. It's because your thoughts are going and going and going.
Let's do something that requires absolutely no thought. Another thing that decompresses me, I'm guilty to say, is reality television. I love it. I love it. I love it. And right now they have Wags on Netflix. Okay, I already finished that, honey. I just had that on while I was cooking. Okay, I was cooking, had my little show on my iPad. I was, listen, relaxed on Friday. Once I had the plan set in motion, I'm like, okay, I could take this time to watch my show. I've been having on Young Rich and African, or Young Famous and African. I think I forget the name of it, but I've been watching that too. Reality show on Netflix. Highly recommend it. I love them both. Love them down. I have been watching them while I'm packing, while I'm eating, taking that time to relax, because it's like I just don't, my brain is kind of off while I'm watching those shows. And I kind of find them interesting. Also, Dubai Bling. I like me some cultural reality television. Watch my Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, my Real Housewives of Potomac, of all of that. It's my thing. So that's an example of something that I like to do that doesn't require any thought. You can watch your favorite show. You can, I don't know, draw, color, read. All of those things like don't really require any thought. And I think it's a great time to do it when your brain is going a mile a minute. It's a good way to slow it down. And then of course, I'm going to encourage y'all to make sure you take the time to pray, because like I emphasized in previous videos and earlier in this one, is that when you are struggling with anxiety of overthinking, being overwhelmed, having fear, doubt, worry, stress, it is often a side effect of having a lack of faith. And when you lack faith, you get on your knees and you pray. So you need to have confidence that no matter what it is that is being thrown at you during this time, God's going to get you through it. You just have to be confident in that. You have to pray. You have to talk to God about what it is that's bothering you, what's stressing you, what's going on. Don't be frustrated like
everything's happening to me, the world is falling down and I just can't, and it's always something.
That is one of my biggest pet peeves, and I think it's because I dated someone previously who that would come out of his mouth a lot, like, and it did feel like a lot of things would happen, but I also felt like sometimes your verbiage is kind of like opening that door for things to keep happening.
It's always something. It's always something. Every time I take 2 steps forward, I knock 4 steps back. Like, damn, bro, man, this life is hard. Ain't nothing easy, bro. Ain't nothing easy. And it's like,
shut up. Like, no, nothing's gonna be easy with that attitude. And this is not to say like it can never feel that way, because sometimes it does. And I'm just saying, as opposed to all that negative self-talk that you do when you are feeling that way, I want you to take the time to pray. Sometimes there's so much noise happening that we don't ever get the silence that we need in order to really have a true relationship with God and to be able to talk to him. And sometimes the answers are right in front of us, but because there's so much noise happening and we're doing all this negative self-talk and we're not doing the talk that we need to be doing, the talk that we need to be having is with God and just asking him to show us ways out of these situations. God, I do not know how I'm going to pay my rent this month, but I know in your name, you're going to make a way for me. And I pray that you reveal any answers necessary in order for me to make this happen, so I could put food on the table, so I could provide for my family, so that I can get out of this hole financially, so I can get out of this hole mentally, so I can get past this issue. I just got laid off. I do not know what I'm about to do. Pray, because you have no idea what you might be closing your eyes to, what you might be turning a cheek to, if you're not being open and receptive to the fact that God is always going to provide a way. But you need to open your ears and open your eyes and open your mouth and talk to him. Ask him for what you need. Look to him when you do not know what to do, as opposed to negative self-talk, feeling like you just can't overcome anything and you can never get past these hurdles. You can, and you will, I promise. But with these 5 tips, and with that, I pray and I hope that you will be able to get through whatever it is overwhelming you. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. You will no longer be overwhelmed by those things. I hope that this video found you at the time that you needed to hear it. Whether or not you're going through something right now, or you're going through a lot of things, or it hasn't come yet, but it might come in a few, because like I said, things are going to happen. I just pray that all of these tips will help you to effectively get through those times. We will no longer allow random issues to have so much of a hold on us that we crack under pressure and we don't rise to the occasion and get things done. We are more than capable of achieving so much. We are more than capable of conquering the feeling of overwhelmingness and conquering anxiety. We're conquering stress. We're too blessed to be stressed in 2025, okay? That applies to all of us. I really and genuinely hope that you took something away from this video. Remember, if you haven't already, to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification bell as well, because there's going to be lots more content coming your way. Thank you again for watching. I'm about to go back to packing, so thank you again, and I will see you out in the next video.